When I started that journey, I decided I wasn't gonna be afraid to just be anymore, right? I was just gonna be Tab. Whoever God created me to be, that's who I was gonna be. I was sick for 1 year and 7 months. I had terrible pain in the back of my head. Throughout my body, I had chronic fatigue, chronic pain. I lost my vision for a day. I would fall when I would walk. I just, I couldn't get well. I kind of lost faith during that time. I thought God forgot about me. When I left the bathroom that day, I feel like a new me walked out. And I have been, pursuing that Tabitha ever since. About 8 months later, my mom passed away. And we were in North Carolina at the time. And so nobody was here at our apartment. And so when we came back, that first night, we'd been gone for a couple of weeks. I went to get in the bed, and my bed was full of dimes. And I was like, why are these dimes in the bed? Like, I wasn't even thinking. And my husband was like, why you got dimes in the bed? I was like, I don't have dimes in the bed. And then it hit me. And I was like, ain't no way. That's the thing I always tell anybody, no matter how you identify. Nothing's wrong with you. You are who you are. This is who you were born to be. Because healing is a journey. Right. It's not permanent, right? Because we can still be triggered even when you're healed.
As Black people, especially Black men,
yes,
we have so many things taking us out. I mean, we got police, we killing each other. So the one thing that we are in control of, what we eat, shouldn't be something that's killing us.
I think the first thing that happens when you're transitioning that makes it hard is when you don't know what to eat, right? The moment that you know what to eat, it's not hard anymore. Yeah. So it's really about understanding what we can't have, because the list is way smaller. That's my best friend. Like, that's my boy, right? Yeah. The friendship is what carries on everything else. And also know you're going to change every day.
Tabitha interview, take one. Yes, yes, yes. Tabitha Brown. So, I am honored. We're here in Encino at Kel My Name. I'm sitting with arguably one of the most famous vegans in the world. I think it's safe to say that, right?
Listen, people be saying that, I don't know.
I was listening to your book. I kid you not, the majority of the book, I had chills listening to that book.
Oh, wow.
And it's so much to unpack, and I don't want to give everything away, but I kind of want to talk about that. Can you tell me about like the process of writing that book?
Well, I'm an open book. I have reestablished myself in when I introduced myself to the world online. Because, I never did videos and stuff before until like 4 years ago. And when I started that journey, I decided I wasn't gonna be afraid to just be anymore, right? I was just gonna be Tab. Whoever God created me to be, that's who I was gonna be. And so I would share things all the time. I still do. And when the pandemic hit, I was in the middle of writing a cookbook. I was like, oh, I don't think people need a cookbook right now. I think that they need their souls to be fed, not their stomachs, And I had been through a lot of what I like to call my personal pandemics, right? My own things that I thought, oh my God, my world is coming to an end type of thing. And I wanted to share those stories with people so that people would feel like they're not alone. Or if Tab got through that, I can too, you know what I'm saying? Right. And I just started sharing like stories of my life, all different things. And it was freeing for me, even though I had been telling these stories before, but sometimes when you tell them or you write them, until you speak it out loud, it's like, oh wow, now I'm releasing it out of me. Right. But it was an amazing experience. I never thought I would be able to write a book and finish it.
1 year, 7 months. 1 year, 7 months. What's the significance of that?
I got sick. I was sick for 1 year and 7 months. I had terrible pain in the back of my head that started like what I thought was like a tension headache in the back of my head, because I have like a bad neck from a car accident. So I was used to having like those type of things. But this stayed and rested there for 1 year and 7 months. Like throughout my body, I had chronic fatigue, chronic pain. I lost my vision for a day. I would fall when I would walk. I just, I couldn't get well. Some days were better than others, but the pain was always present. How
did you like deal with that? I know faith plays a huge part in your life.
Oh, absolutely. During the time, I got depressed because I was going to the doctor every week, every month. Blood tests, MRIs, everything would come back normal. They couldn't tell me anything, and it was so frustrating because I was like, I know I'm not normal. I know something is not right with my body, And I kind of lost faith during that time. I thought God forgot about me. But I also realized that I had not really been truthfully praying to him anymore. I was like habitually praying, just praying out of habit. Like, I'm gonna just say this, but I don't believe he hear me anymore. And I had to get to a place of truth and honesty with myself. And I was like, okay, Tab, you need to really try to have a talk with him one more time, like, and really mean it this time, you know?
Yeah.
And so I call it my coming to Jesus moment in my bathroom. So I got in the mirror and I said, you know, God, this is my final call out to you. Like, this is my last try. Yeah. But my prayer was, if you heal me, you can have me. And I ain't gonna try to live my life my way no more. I'm gonna simply live it the way you created me to live it. I'll be who you created me to be. When I left the bathroom that day, I feel like a new me walked out. And I have been, you know, pursuing that Tabitha ever since. I always tell people, use me as an example for you, right? So that you don't have to get so low.
Right.
I always say, use my life so that you don't have to get so far down before you decide to have faith. Mm-hmm. I feel like I was purposed for that, like, so that people don't have to go through what I went through. It's dark. Yeah. And the dark is no fun. It's no fun. I like the light.
Right, right.
You can see better, okay?
Right.
But I always tell people, use me. You know, that's why I share, so that wherever you are in your situation, you can be like, oh, wait, I ain't got to go no further. I just need a little crack of light, and I'm going to hold on to that.
One of the things you said is you sat down and you did an interview, and it was with you and your husband, and they asked him, you know, because you kept his faith, and he didn't see it, he didn't believe.
Yeah, oh, absolutely,
and
yeah.
His response was, now I know that God is real, right?
Yes.
Am I getting that right? Uh-huh. And so, you know, listening to that, I can for sure say I got God from just hearing your story, which, you know, was incredible. So many things. You talk about your mom in the book and the role that she played. Let me ask you, have you found any dimes lately?
Shoot, yeah. Our grand opening on Sunday here, it was on right under that first table. Yeah.
Wow. So for people who haven't read the book, can you just kind of give a quick spiel?
Oh, absolutely.
What's the dimes?
So when my mom was sick, we were having a conversation because we knew she was going to die. You know, she had a terminal disease. And I was talking to her. I was saying, you know, Mama, what am I going to do when you're gone? She was my best friend, you know, I talked to her about everything. And she said, you know, I used to feel the same way when Granny died, which was her mama. And she was like, one day she was having a terrible day at work, and she went to sit at her desk, and there was a nickel sitting like on the edge of her desk. And she was like, all of a sudden she was just drawn to this nickel. And she felt peace and calm, and she felt like she felt the presence of her mom. And I was like, what? And so she was like, ever since then, when she would have, you know, good days, bad days, whatever, or she missed her mom, she would find nickels. And so I was like, so you think Granny leaving you nickels? And she was like, I feel like she is, like, as a sign that she's around me. And so we laughed about it. I was like, well, if that's what you think, what you gonna leave me, you know, when you're gone, so I know you're around. And she said, I'll double it and I'll leave you dimes. And I was like, all right, you know, just joking, laughing, not really thinking about it. And about 8 months later, my mom passed away. And we were in North Carolina at the time. And so nobody was here at our apartment. And so when we came back, that first night, we've been gone for a couple of weeks. I went to get into bed, and my bed was full of dimes. And I was like, why are these dimes in the bed? Like, you know, I wasn't even thinking. And my husband was like, why you got dimes in the bed? I was like, I don't have dimes in the bed. And then it hit me. And I was like, ain't no way. Like, it ain't no way. It's under the cover. You know what I'm saying? And so I told my husband, he was like, no, Tam, I don't want to hear about it, you know? Right. And so all night I was like, it's not possible. Like, how, you know? And that morning when I got up, I was cooking in the kitchen, and Chance went to go take a shower. And all of a sudden, he's screaming from the bathroom. And I was like, what's going on? I went in the bathroom, and he's like speechless, just pointing to the shower, and the shower was full of dimes. And from that day, ever since, great days, bad days, when I miss her, she shows up in dimes.
In dimes, that's wild.
Yeah. The one thing a lot of people always come to me about, especially like in the LGBTQ community, is like, how do I tell my parents, you know? And the one thing I always tell them, that if your parent has always seen you, they already know. Right. And always reminding them there's nothing wrong with you. Yeah. That's the thing I always tell anybody, no matter how you identify, nothing's wrong with you. Right. You are who you are. This is who you were born to be. But to love yourself is the advice I always give. No matter what, love yourself.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you said that you have to fully love you first, and, you know, give you all of you first in order to be the best wife and mom and everything. For people out there that kind of struggle with saying no, what advice would you give in, like, prioritizing yourself, and how has that changed your life since you started putting yourself as a priority?
Ooh, honey, look, you got to put you first, okay? Because if you don't, it's like you said, I used to give myself to everybody. You know, my kids, my husband, you know, work, everything would come before me. And by the time I got to me, I was tired. I didn't have enough left for me.
Right.
And so I realized that I'm also giving out me, not the best version of me, right? I'm giving out a little bit of Tab, as a little bit of mama, a little bit of wife. But if I start with me every morning and I fill my cup up first, I check in on myself, then I know, okay, I'm good.
Right.
I'm full. And now I can go out and distribute pieces of me to people and still have something left over for me when I get back, right? It changed my whole world.
When did that transition happen though? Like
when I was sick.
When you were sick?
Yeah, when I was sick, when I started coming out of it in healing, because healing is a journey.
Right.
It's not permanent, right? Because we can still be triggered even when you're healed. And so that's why it's a journey. And so there's still urges of me sometimes in the morning wanting to jump to help somebody else before I make sure that I'm able to help them.
Right.
And so the last 4 years, that's been my journey, trying to make sure I prioritize me first.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, that was me saying, you know what, God, you can have me, but also I can have me too. Right? Because that's important.
That's powerful.
Especially as a wife and as a mother, it's so important to see yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't see yourself, nobody else will. You bringing food out? Oh, honey, we bringing food on out.
Got some food about to get in. Try this food.
Yes, thank you,
Nice,
honey.
nice.
See, when you at the restaurant and you do an interview, honey, food just be coming on out.
We're gonna try some of this food and get back into the conversation, but you know, we wanna eat it while it's hot.
Absolutely. This is lemon pepper cauliflower wings.
Lemon pepper cauliflower wings. And what's this drink right here that just
That's
brought
a blue
me?
raspberry lemonade.
Blue raspberry lemonade. We
Yes.
need to do a taste test on
Go
this
ahead
joint.
and try it on out.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that right there. I like that.
Okay.
The raspberry kind of
Okay.
take a second to
yeah,
hit you.
little
but
something right there.
You have a ton of stuff going on. Actress, author, cook, TikToker, restaurateur, go on and on and on. How do you find a balance to get all of this stuff done and, you know, to have that time for self-care, but then still have time for the family and all of that?
It starts with me first, right? And so it's me first, and then family, and then everything else comes after. And that's how I keep it all balanced. Like, nothing comes before me and family.
Right.
Everything else, I'm like, okay, now I got time. I got a good schedule. I can look at my calendar. I'm like, I got time for this, this, and that. And I got a great team.
Yeah.
And they make sure that, you know, they know that I want everything on the calendar. And I don't do nothing I don't want to do.
Right.
Right.
Well,
So
I appreciate you sitting down with me
Oh, yeah.
to have some food. You know, I said, is she still gonna answer my DMs?
You better stop
know?
playing with me, yeah. Same tab, same tab. Oh God, we thank you. Amen.
Thankful. All right, here we go. Dip in with the vegan ranch.
Oh God.
Let's see.
And he ate the whole thing, and that's his business, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's all right, huh?
As black people, especially black men,
Yes.
we have so many things taking us out. I mean, we got police, we killing each other. So the one thing that we are in control of, what we eat, shouldn't be something that's killing us, right?
That's right.
And you know, a lot of misconceptions that people have, they think we eat rabbit food, you know, salad, this and that. And, you know, I want to show you, because I travel a lot, there's a lot of great vegan options out there, you know, which is a question I have too is, you're from down south, in the black community, food is a comfort food for us, right?
Right.
Do you think that non-vegans or people transitioning can still find that same comfort in food?
So, food is food, right? It's just all in how you see your food. I always tell people that, like, there's nothing, when people are like, oh, I don't eat vegan food, I'm like, you never had a cauliflower, a potato, you know, a salad, or apple, a banana? Like, food is food. It's, a lot of times we overthink it.
Right.
And so being from the South, that was my thing. Like, I ain't gonna vegan because I ain't like how non-vegan food tasted. I can still have the texture of like fried chicken or, you know, that same type of, you know, to feel the craving.
Right.
But it can still be healthy, it can still be great, you know? And it's just really the mind. I cook all the time. I still cook very Southern when I want to, and it's just all vegan, right? So you can still have the best of both worlds, honey. You ain't gonna miss nothing. You can still have it. But yeah, I think it's really all in how we think. But that's how I do my content. I try to show people another option without judgment, without forcing, just simply sharing.
That's what I love about you, and that's something that I got from the book. It's no judgment. It's just you, and you know, for those who believe the Bible, when it talks about let your life be a walking epistle.
Right.
You, like, just looking at you, you're an example of what's possible, and you know, I just feel like you're in this position to speak to so many lives, and it's a beautiful thing to watch.
I appreciate that.
We gotta try these tacos out too.
Oh yeah, come on.
Know? What's in these tacos?
Okay, so this is the trio. So you have one of my favorites. They all really are favorite, but here, let's put them on your side.
Thank you.
So there's a Beyond, which is like, you know, your carne asada, and then jackfruit tacos and fried avocado.
Okay.
Which is very, very good.
Non-vegans or new vegans who are transitioning into this life, who don't necessarily have the time to cook, how can they start implementing vegan options?
I think the thing is, first, thank you, honey.
Got more food
that good old burger, honey.
Yeah.
I think the first thing that happens when you're transitioning that makes it hard is when you don't know what to eat, right? The moment that you know what to eat, it's not hard anymore. So it's really about understanding what we can't have, because the list is way smaller. Right? We can't have chicken and beef and pork, eggs, dairy, right? We can't have our cheese, we can't have fish, we can't have any meat or animal products. Everything else you can have. Everything else. So it's literally, you can count on your hands how many things you can't have. Everything else you can have.
Why do you think the stigma is what it is in our community? When you say vegan, it's kind of like, oh, nah, I don't want to hear that, because we're so used to eating meat every single meal. Like, psychologically, why do you think that's so hard for people to get over that barrier?
It's, to me, this is my belief. We went for centuries not being in control, right? Not having our own power. We were enslaved, right? And so when we got our power and we got to a place where we are in control, if you take something away from us, we feel like you're taking away our power, right? You're taking away our tradition, you're taking away our life. That's what we attach ourselves to food, right? And so if you tell me I can't have something, you're taking away my power, my freedom to do what I want to do. But the moment that you rethink it and say, I'm not taking it away, I'm actually giving you something, right? The meat is giving you disease, right? The way you're eating is not helping you, but I want to give you another solution.
You got firsthand experience of food being healing. You know, because like you said, the meat and a lot of things that we eat, those are the things that cause a lot of illnesses in our community and just in general, right? So talk about like how different you feel being on a vegan diet than how you felt before.
Well, honey, thank God I'm here, okay? Because Tab was on her way out of here, all right? I'm energy, like I have no more pain. I used to have chronic pain and chronic fatigue every day. Like the fatigue was the thing that was like, I felt like it was killing me. When you wake up after sleeping all night, I would set my alarm to wake up to take my kids to school, come back home, set my alarm, and sleep until it was time to pick them up. I was exhausted all the time. I would have spurts where I'd be like, oh, I feel good today, let me go try to take a walk, or like, you know, go outside or get stuff done. But most times, I was exhausted, or my joints would ache and my body would spasm. But all of that is gone. The depression lifted. I remember one night of thinking, just like how night and day that I am now, right, with how I was feeling. And God just kind of told me, he said, remember this quote that people use all the time, but they don't really think about it. You are what you eat, right? And so I remember thinking I was going to die all the time for a year and 7 months. I was like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna die, right? I was depressed. I was having major panic attacks and anxiety. And then I never really talk about this because I never want people to feel like I am one of those kind of vegans that are trying to, you know, make people feel bad. But this was revealed to me, and so he started to, you know, remind me, think about the animals. They are literally in panic all the time because slaughterhouses, the way it is now is inhumane. The way that they're just, it's crazy how they're mass producing these animals. They're fear of death all the time. They are sick and they are depressed. And I was eating them every day. So you are what you eat.
Right, that energy transfer.
Absolutely. So their thought, I'm about to die, that was my thought every day. Their anxiety became my anxiety. Their sickness became my sickness.
Wow.
So, and I no longer wanted to do that. I wanted to eat life, things that grow in our lives.
Well, I am happy you made the decision because your life is definitely needed. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you.
Just trust me,
go ahead and try them tacos.
Too.
We do a lot of gluten-free and soy-free, and we're 100% nut-free. Good.
That right there?
Hello, Rachel.
I got all the right amount of seasoning right there.
Very good. Yeah. But it's good, right? Honey, ain't it very good?
This taco
I be trying to tell the people I don't be lying about no food
here.
now.
Yeah. I will drive to Encino for this taco, for sure. Yeah.
Very good. You're going to drive to Encino for the taco, okay? And you ain't got to eat it on Tuesday. Tacos is for every day, so. Very good. I'm glad you like it.
No, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. But I also tell people that food, you know, when they say, "Ooh, it's expensive to be vegan," and I always tell them it's not if you buy real food, right? You buy real beans and potatoes and rice and veggies in its real state. Processed food, on the other hand, can become expensive.
Right.
Just like if you were buying steak and lobster and all that, right? Those are your substitutes.
Right.
But if you just buy real food, it's cheap.
You've been married for 18 years, together for 23 years, right? You're America's mom. So in this day and age of dating, one, like what's your advice on like finding that right partner and the advice on like sustaining that relationship? Because you know, the people want to know. And it's me, Tab, I'm people, it's me, I want to know.
Well, you know, the thing is I've never been single as an adult, right? Been with my husband since I was 19. But I always tell people, if you get to know who you are first, and you know what you love and what you like, then another person will know how to love you and like you, right? And you won't just settle for anything because you know who you are. So while you're single, get to know you. Don't spend time looking for somebody. Spend time looking for you. Make sure that you're one with yourself, so that when somebody does come and they say, "What do you like to do?" you can answer with confidence.
Yeah.
And when they show you things that you know you don't like, you already can make that note. Oh, I know I don't like that. So this might not work. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then if you are, if you do find love, make sure you communicate. Always be honest, even when it's uncomfortable. Even when it's uncomfortable, because that is the biggest thing. Me and my husband, we grew up in our relationship.
Right.
But we spent many years not expressing ourselves to each other because it wasn't comfortable.
Yeah.
And then that caused a lot of things that we hold inside that later you have an argument and all this stuff come out. And you're like, well, I didn't know you felt like that because I was suppressing, right? He was suppressing. But then when you get grown, you realize you just got to be open and honest, even when it's uncomfortable. And make sure you have a friendship in your relationship. My husband's my best friend. Like, that's my boy, right?
Yeah.
The friendship is what carries on everything else. And also know you're going to change every day.
Yeah, that's a big
We are
one.
always going to change.
So what's the advice for like adjusting to that change? Because people feel like, oh, this is going to be that person. They might be somebody different a week from now. Life circumstances
we're going to be different every day.
Yeah.
The world is changing every day. We're changing, we're growing every day. So go into it knowing that and be ready for it. If you love that person, then you know as they change, I'm also going to change. And we got to, lean with it, rock with it, honey. You're going to have to.
Lean with it, rock with it.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but you're going to have to just be willing to get to know the changes.
Right.
And don't ignore the changes. When they happen, embrace them, right? If you're together and you truly believe in the relationship and each other, when the changes happen, talk about them, right? Talk about when feelings start to change. Talk about when circumstances start to change, right? And it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like I know myself and all of that. I feel like, Tad, we're going to have to connect and we're going to have to do a dating show. You're going to help me find love. We're the good vegan sisters out here.
Okay. Got to get them somebody, honey. Y'all call them now.
Tab, thank you again for sitting down with me. Everybody out there, come to Encino, check out Kel My Name, grab the book, watch the shows, watch the TikTok, subscribe, and it's amazing seeing you again. Looking forward to continuing to watch your journey.
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna finish off this food. Again, it's one of the best waffles that I've had around the world, period. So yeah, that's gonna get 8.
Well, very good. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you
for sharing some space with me and some time.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
yes.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, look, let me go on and get into this. Now we can really get in.
We
can really get
in,
into it now, okay?
Hold on to that, you know,
Yeah.
because I see a whole lot of the opposite. But in your journey to,
The waffles is good.
waffles,
He loves the waffles, Nina.
And they're cold.
I know.
No, they're still warm. Look, I'm gonna tell you
I
this.
know we were talking.
I am a connoisseur of vegan chicken and waffles. Everywhere around the world, I get it. No exaggeration. It's one of the best waffles that I've had.
And
It's
guess
waffle.
what? There's a gluten-free and nut-free.
Yep.
Wait, gluten free? He got locked up again?